Hello and welcome to Crypto Bible, and today's episode is Oliver and Experts. I have another amazing expert that I'm going to be chatting to, having a bit of an interview with. But before I tell you who it is, I want you to press the like button, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell icon, because I've got more experts in the pipeline and I don't want you to miss out. So anyway, without further ado, today's guest is Katharine. She is the managing director of Daxi, which is a crypto portfolio management company. So let's get her on and chat everything crypto. Katharine,
Hey.
hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. So firstly, thanks for giving us up your time today. But I just want to jump straight in, because anyone that doesn't know who you are or what you do, can you just tell us what that is?
Yeah, sure. So I'm MD for a company called Daxi. So we're a fintech headquartered in Singapore, but I head up the UK and Europe. And we're a crypto exchange. Loads of those places you can buy and sell crypto. Most of our customers are spending their lovely British pounds and purchasing crypto. But we're a wealth platform. So whereas a lot of the platforms are very much about traders, people day trading, most of our users are holding for the long term. So I'm very passionate about crypto. I'm on my fourth blockchain business. I've spent a career in fintech, financial services, banking. And for me, personally, my opinion is that crypto is the next wave of technology, which is coming at us like a steam train.
Fantastic. So you mentioned just a little bit there, a little bit of your background. Can you
Sure.
delve into that a little bit more? How many years have you been doing it, and how did you come into it?
Yeah, sure. So I've spent the last 20 years or so involved in either investments or finance, and most recently fintech. Fintech is a bit of a buzzword right now. We've had technology in banks for decades. My dad is always very keen to remind me that, that's not a new phenomenon. He was in fact doing it in the 70s. So
Yeah.
most recently, crypto really is only, as an industry, sort of 4 to 5 years old. For most people, it's kind of come from nowhere. 1 year, no one had heard of Bitcoin. The next year, pretty much everyone in the world knew about it. So prior to being at Daxi, I worked in investment banking technology. So I was taking software into banks like Deutsche Bank, Citi, UBS, some of the world's biggest hedge funds, banks, and asset managers. Right. And I personally had a sense that a lot of those organizations have got a huge amount of legacy technology. So it's really messy, it's really clunky. The speed of adoption and innovation is just horrendous. So I left with a real sense of, look, there's got to be something out there that's coming. So I've been very privileged, done some board work already for a crypto business. I've done some board work in blockchain. Actually, that was for health tech, because there's blockchain across pretty much every industry that you've heard of. Before that, I worked in peer-to-peer, which again was sort of a bit of a innovative solution to an age-old problem, which is how you get investors on one side that are really keen for a return to face off businesses that really want to raise money. So I really had a sense that technology can solve a lot of problems. Crypto is really that on steroids. There are proponents, people like me that love crypto, that will talk about it being fairer, more democratic, which is obviously great for society, fabulous financial inclusion, but most importantly, it's quicker and more efficient. And of course, lots of savings that can be made in financial infrastructure, which is why you see a lot of sort of the traditional old world, sort of those big banks, countries really looking to embrace crypto technology.
Fantastic. A lot of expertise and experience there. And also, you're a little bit of a writer as well, because I noticed you wrote for the Scottish Financial News about COVID, and then the other one that I really enjoyed reading, not that I didn't enjoy the other one, was how women make better investors, which I can see why, which was for We Are Women in Tech or something.
Yeah, sure. So it's weird. So I have obviously a very busy day job. The day job takes me sort of anywhere between 10 and 14 hours a day. But because a lot of people are quite intrigued about crypto, I write for the press a lot. So I started off writing for lots of kind of quite niche fintech magazines, lots of kind of sort of crypto, which, we're a tiny new industry where there aren't that many people in it. But actually in the last sort of 12 to 18 months, I'm getting quite a lot of requests for comment from sort of quite, mainstream publications. So I've written for the Times, the Times, the Guardian, iNewspaper, which used to be the Independent, Daily Express seems to have a massive appetite for crypto, and actually I'm on TV quite a lot as well. So my little study in my little place west of London gets on BBC World News amongst other places. So great that message is, it's just great the message is getting out there. I used to find myself explaining to people what I did, and used to start with, oh, this is what blockchain is, and no one's heard of Bitcoin. And now people kind of, you go somewhere socially and you kind of get pinned to the wall. People are saying, oh, what's Ethereum going to do this year? When will Bitcoin get to $100,000? So I get kind of, I suppose I'm a bad dinner party guest, because when people know what you do, they've got 1,000 questions.
That's brilliant, fantastic. So I guess we're gonna talk about it, and I want to know your thoughts about the crypto market at the moment, and where do you see the crypto market in the future?
Yeah, sure. So that is a fantastic question. So we're recording this on Wednesday, the 12th of January. So crypto had a phenomenal year last year, so 2021. Look, Bitcoin did 60%, Ethereum, which pretty much no one had heard at the beginning of the year, did 400% plus. And there were all these altcoins that came from nowhere, the Polkadot, the Stellar, the Chainlink. But there is so much choice in that marketplace right now. So whilst we talk today, there is just short of 17,000 different cryptocurrencies. And yeah, it's a huge amount to choose from.
It's crazy.
If you're new to the industry, it's quite bewildering. You kind of get information overload. So out of those, in fact, it'll probably be at 17,000 by the time we finish talking, let alone by the time you broadcast this podcast. It's just too much choice. So it is my opinion, and the opinion of anybody that is sensible, that you will see substantial consolidation in that marketplace. There is just not that much appetite, market, or need for that many cryptos. So we very much see a flight to quality. So look, crypto's got a great story to tell. It's been the best performing asset on the face of the planet across the last couple of years. Q3 last year was interesting. Q4, not so much. You saw a record high in Bitcoin in sort of middle of November. Since that, there's been a substantial correction. And look, crypto's volatile. I don't want anyone that is listening to this podcast, watching this podcast, thinking crypto is a safe, quiet, chilled out thing to be in. It's not. It's massively volatile. So I expect to see substantial correlation. I want to see those quality cryptos doing well. So I just want to reiterate to anyone that's new to crypto, there's about 17,000 cryptos, but the top 20 are about 99% of the global market. So I'll say that again. There's 17,000, and yet 99% of the demand is the top 20. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much appetite there is. And I come under a bit of criticism, actually, particularly on Reddit, whenever I put in the press that I don't think the meme coins are a great idea. So if you want to buy Dogecoin because it's a great joke, if you want a crypto that's named after a corgi, then power to you. But it's probably not a fantastic bet for long-term wealth. So as a wealth platform, we actually talk about a very short list of cryptos. So the credible coins, primarily Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Stellar, Chainlink. We're actually launching a few more in the coming weeks. But that use case is key. So if you're looking at getting into a crypto, just make sure it has a credible use case, a credible business plan, essentially. So, there's just so much out there that ranges from the ridiculous to the sublime, and no one wants toxic waste in their portfolio. So we're actually quite unique. We've actually got a number of our users are actually using crypto for either their ISA, which I think is unique to us, or for their pension. So look, those kind of users are not looking for hilarious takes on weird coins. And that's kind of how I feel like NFTs, to be honest. NFTs, of course, came from nowhere last year. Again, no one had heard of it, and then it was absolutely everywhere. I can definitely see an argument for tokenizing anything. Actually, as a business, we're looking at tokenizing using our community coin, the Daxi coin, with something called the Daxi chain. Our medium-term ambition is to be a crowdfunder for up-and-coming tech businesses. We're just applying for licenses in the UK from the FCA. But the NFTs, when someone says to me, oh, I just really like this NFT, which is a picture of a robot, eating a sandwich. I think, well, that's great. If you would like that on your wall, that's not for me to say that your taste in art doesn't suit me. As a long-term investment, I'm not so convinced at this stage.
It's interesting, Katharine. I thought you've looked at my questions because...
Oh, sorry, I haven't.
I was like, hang on. No, because I wanted to ask you a little bit about NFTs, because I think... Personally, in my opinion, I get NFTs in the space of a gaming world for like skins and property, and magical weapons and all that. I'm a little bit of a gamer, but in this, art space and gallery where they're buying, like you said, basically JPEGs. You're having digital ownership of a JPEG, and it was one of the questions I wanted to see if within your, Daxi, whether you guys, it sounds like you're you're more geared towards, I don't want to say credible coins, but more things that have been like justified and has a use case rather than, like you said, meme coins, maybe an NFT, and so what?
Yeah, sure. So look, for me personally, I don't see an investment case for NFTs today. If you're absolutely a crazy West Ham fan and you can buy an NFT of your all-time favorite goal, that's great. You should go and do that. I can see the argument for certain types of media as an investment class today. I think it's too immature. If you are looking to get involved in the NFT space, one of the things you can do is get involved in the cryptos that interact with NFTs, so the underlying technology. So again, people talk to me and say, look, I'm really interested in crypto. I know it's the future. Katharine, how do I get involved? The answer is blue chip cryptos. I think the NFTs at the moment are kind of in the novelty space, is my opinion. And look, it's a really good sign of how everything is getting tokenized. So I have phone calls, not daily, but probably weekly. And they kind of go along the lines of, Katharine, Daxy's great. It's got all these users. It's getting loads of press coverage. Could you possibly help me with? And then there's just something really esoteric like fine wine or, vintage cars or an art collection or some carbon credits or some uranium. Right. And you go, oh, look, that sounds really interesting. It's not for us as a business. We're into credible blue chip crypto. However, I totally see that you would be interested in tokenizing that asset class. And, I think there's a lot of inefficiencies, sort of in our current sort of stocks and shares and those kinds of products. It's fairly inefficient. And also they're geared to much bigger businesses. So if you were, a smaller business or, in the old days when a school was like, look, we need a science block and you can buy a brick. Oliver, come and buy a brick and we'll name this one brick after you or whatever.
Yeah.
All of that is tokenization, and crypto clearly is a quicker, faster, more efficient, cheaper way of doing that. And look, the NFTs are just a sign of things to come in terms of the technology being harnessed to do that. So
my next point is then the metaverse. That's another kind of hype at the moment. People are throwing it around. Big companies, Facebook rebranded to Meta platforms, and I think it's something that's obviously going to come around. You've got Microsoft getting involved. You've got Disney saying certain things. What's your views and thoughts on the metaverse, and are any coins that you're seeing at the moment could be doing well within the metaverse in the future?
Yeah, sure. So actually, I was asked this exact question about whether there were any specific metaverse coins that we had our eye on. And the answer is no, not as a business, neither as me personally. Although, in fact, funnily enough, we have obviously a crypto platform. That platform was built by us in-house. We have an amazing CTO that's been around, I think, 4 or 5 years now that built that out for us. And of course, we've got COVID. So the Christmas party, COVID was really getting quite hairy just before Christmas. Loads of people come to the Christmas party. So our tech team actually had their Christmas party in the metaverse, which is fantastic.
That is good.
I can see the metaverse as a concept that makes perfect sense to me. At the moment, it is quite disparate projects. I think Facebook rebranding to Meta is the biggest single piece of PR that anyone in the metaverse could possibly wish for. Yeah. But I think there's no specific coin that I think, great, that's all that metaverse, we should do that. Again, I think it's more about looking at the underlying technology that can power those projects. So again, just getting involved in those cryptos that have a use case, which is gaming, which is the underlying technology. So Ethereum, for example, literally no one had heard of it a year ago. So not no one, outside of a really nucleus of quite techie people, Ethereum wasn't really heard of. And I was saying 12 to 14 months ago, Ethereum has a broader use case than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's about store of value. It's about people that use gold thinking, do you know what? This is way easier to store. I haven't got to physically put it somewhere. I can send Oliver 20 grand's worth of Bitcoin more easily than I can send him 20 grand's worth of gold. We'll talk about that afterwards. So for me personally, something like Ethereum, which is the underlying technology, which drives a huge amount of crypto, it's actually more interesting than saying, I've just chosen one metaverse project. I've just chosen, one thing I've chosen to be tokenized. I think people that want to get involved in that space, blue chip crypto, start off small. A good number of our users start off with 100 worth of crypto just to make sure they're comfortable, they're happy. And look, large numbers of our user base hold tens of thousands of pounds worth of crypto, but of course started off small and made sure they were well briefed and happy with both crypto as a concept and the platform that they're using.
Okay, so let's do a bit of a walkthrough then. So anyone that's watching this video kind of gets to understand the process. So we find Daxi, we go, this looks pretty good. The website looks great. It's very simple. You do different types of bundles.
Sure.
So I want to talk about those, and then like what's the process? Do we have a call with someone? Do we get what's the word, like Zoom calls or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. So that's a very interesting question. So we feel that Bitcoin is kind of the poster child of crypto, like it's the one your grandma's heard of. Do you know what I mean? But I think that there are other cryptos that have not only a broader use case or have fundamentally outperformed Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin's the old man of crypto right now. Hey, there's a lot of up and coming cryptos that are, a year or two old. So one of the things we were finding was that people were interested in crypto, but were so bewildered by too much choice. So, of course, a bundle means that anyone that comes to us, regardless of whether they're buying £100 worth of crypto or £10,000 worth of crypto, they buy crypto in their own account. We have nothing to do with funds or derivatives or anything, where people just purely buy crypto in their own name or in a company name. So, but that would be split between a number of cryptos. So our blue chip crypto, which is Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. We also have what's called our Blue Ocean bundle, which is focused on altcoins, particularly popular people that are after environmentally friendly crypto, which is quite popular right now.
Okay,
we also have some crypto which is based on precious metals, which is very popular. And look, people do come to us and say, look, I'm really passionate about this one coin, or I want to increase my holdings in just one or two, and that's fine. But actually, the bundles, for reasons of diversification, have been very popular. And they have hugely outperformed a pure Bitcoin purchase. And actually, I think for that sort of knowledge base, we're very education focused. In fact, tonight, we are actually launching our learning management system. So we've always provided lots of free education. There's no obligation, there's no cost. You can come to Daxi and absorb 100 hours of education and say, do you know what? I don't want to do crypto, or I'm going to go to another exchange. That's fine. But actually, most people choose to stick with us. So we really are the authority in taking people from kind of a little bit intrigued and they've heard of Bitcoin and they might want to get involved to actually, I need to have enough knowledge to make an informed choice. And the regulator in the UK, the FCA, says, for people to purchase crypto, lack of knowledge is a problem. So we very much bang that drum: more regulation, more knowledge, easily accessible knowledge. And I think, to my knowledge, we're the only crypto exchange that really embraces that. So there are a few exchanges that kind of put out a bit of research or kind of have a quarterly webinar or what have you. We broadcast daily. So we actually have a 9:30 meeting where people can pile on and ask us anything. You haven't got to send a question or have it approved. We have huge amounts of webinars, both in the UK. I've got colleagues that cover Australia, which is our other sort of main market. So people all over the world dial in to talk to a real person. I think crypto can be a bit faceless. I think
definitely.
If you look at a lot of sort of the marketing around crypto, it's very young, hip, trendy. It's all kind of cartoons or pictures of rockets. It's full of jargon. And actually, serious retail investors don't really relate to that. A lot of the exchanges, when you log on, the UI looks like the Matrix because they're built for trading. So our take on crypto is make it accessible, take away the jargon, provide people with the information that they can go and make an informed choice. Because look, crypto is a real leap in terms of education, understanding what technology does. It's hugely volatile. You need to understand what you're doing. So our attitude is take our education, come talk to us, ask us any question you like under the sun. We're real people. And we seem to be quite unique. I remember actually, as I joined Daxi, which is just coming up to 2 years ago, actually, I was having an argument with a major exchange because I had a problem with my account. I'd sent some money and they hadn't managed to allocate it to my account. And they're based in the US. They're a really famous US-based exchange. And I sent an email saying, I've sent this transaction and it hasn't shown up. And the turnaround time for their customer services was about 4 days. So you can imagine I've sent a substantial chunk of money. It's disappeared into, outer space and no one's talking to me. And that's not cool.
Panic.
Yeah, exactly. And at least, with high street banks in the UK, the argument for crypto is, we can do a better job. We're not trying to replace banks. We're trying to interact with the current financial infrastructure. We can do a better job. This is more efficient. It's fairer. This is the future. And actually, someone taking 4 days to respond to a really small inquiry is not cool.
It's not good enough.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 24/6 coverage for our customer services. We aim to get back to everyone within a couple of hours, which the vast majority of people we do. And I just think it makes crypto a bit more human, And I think we need to take investors, retail investors that are purchasing crypto seriously. It's no longer just speculators and just millennials and people just having a punt, and they understand the technology, so they're just having a little bit of a dabble. We've got customers that are spending their pension or their ISAs or tens of thousands of pounds. They deserve the respect of solid interactions with our business, which we try and do. I'm very, very proud of some of the feedback we get from our users, particularly on stuff like Trustpilot.
No, that's really great, and some of the things you were saying there, I definitely agree with. So I want to know if you could give, because obviously the crypto space is getting more and more people, adopting crypto, coming in, and there's lots of scams out there, and a lot of people that don't know about crypto say immediately they think, oh, it's a scam, because they've heard of the Squid Game or a rug pull here or there. So what I want to get from you is, what solid advice would you give new people getting into the crypto space and wanting to invest?
Yeah, sure. So I could research. I think is the best information you can be given. I think that there are some dreadful exchanges and some dreadful crypto products out there. I think I'm a passionate supporter of regulation. I think that we need to make sure the regulators provide a robust regulatory framework. The day that we're recording this, we're actually having the government will be releasing tomorrow their view on crypto. We've got an all-parliamentary group also getting together to talk about crypto. And look, regulators all over the world are taking a good view. But just in terms of keeping yourself safe, research your crypto platform. Where are they? Who are they? Can you find them? Research the coins you're getting into. Nothing too esoteric. Really boring blue chips. There are some exchanges that sell 200 coins and 800 pairs. We have a tiny list of cryptos that we really believe in.
Yeah.
So just make sure you research the platform. Where is it? Who are they? What regulator are they under? And I think there's some justifiable horror stories about some of these completely faceless exchanges. They don't have KYC, AML policies. They've got a bank account somewhere weird and wacky. Those are to be avoided. Education, research, and keep yourself safe.
Very good, very good. And you probably get this question quite a bit, but can you tell us a coin, in your opinion, that you can see doing well in the foreseeable future?
I'm going to have to say the Daxi coin, obviously, which is our community coin.
Of course.
Going back to the research, when you have a use case for any coin, they have to put out there what the business case for their coin is. So we actually, it's normally called a white paper because our corporate colours are blue. Ours is called the blue paper.
Sure.
And we've been around 4 or 5 years, which I know in any other industry you're like, yes, so what, Katharine? But in crypto, we are like, we're like Tudor, practically Tudor. We're ancient, and we're on track to deliver what we intend to. And I'm really proud of that. And we've got a lot of coin holders that are truly happy. It's a fixed amount in circulation. We've already sold or allocated about half. We're externally listed on a number of exchanges that you can purchase the coin on. And we're very excited about using the coin for crowdfunding globally, which we know to be a multi-trillion-dollar marketplace. So watch this space.
And will that have uses like staking, for example, or anything within your exchange with the Daxi coin?
Yeah, sure. So the Daxi coin is already, you can purchase that from our exchange already.
Yeah.
The crowdfunding won't be up and running till the back end of this year. We have already provided some incentives for people that hold. Obviously, some of those have been and gone because we've been around a couple of years now.
Yeah.
But we're actually looking to make our technology available to other businesses. So I made a few examples of people that say, oh, Katharine, can you help us with the following? And the answer is absolutely not from our exchange. But we have many businesses that we'll be talking to about using our technology for raising for other assets. So we're confident it's got a very broad use case. I think when you look at some of these, sports teams are like, we'll have our own crypto. You're like, yeah, but how big a marketplace is that? When you look at, crowdfunding tech businesses globally, that's a marketplace worth trillions. So we're really excited to get that up and running in the next year or so.
Sounds exciting times. Now, we hear all the time, don't we, about Bitcoin predictions, Ethereum predictions, people saying 100K by the end of 2022 or June, or 10K Ethereum in dollars, obviously. I just wanted to know, in your opinion, prediction-wise, where can you see it? Like mid-2022 or end of 2022? I'll let you choose.
Yeah, sure. And look, that 100K for Bitcoin is quite psychological, isn't it? So there was a lot of chat about, by the end of 2021, particularly that sort of stock to flow model that's always been pretty accurate has kind of slipped a little bit back end of last year. I think we probably got a little bit ahead of ourselves. We've had a couple of months, which are a substantial correction for crypto. Of course, there's opportunity in that. People that are dollar cost averaging, buy the dip, of course, I think is probably quite a good investment mantra. So I can definitely see Bitcoin getting to 100,000 this year. There's some JP Morgan research that got released today where people were kind of pumping at a slightly kind of more conservative kind of 60K this year. I can definitely see 100K this year. And I've always been a huge fan of Ethereum. I think actually the use case for Ethereum is greater than the use case for Bitcoin. 10,000 this year, I don't know, that sounds a bit punchy to me. But what I can tell you is crypto is likely to outperform every other asset class that's available. It's fundamentally outperformed stocks, shares. And I think, there's a real growing sense that any balanced portfolio, I mean, even mainstream commentators are now saying that any balanced portfolio should contain a couple of % in crypto, with the caveat that they are reputable blue chip cryptos. I think makes sense to me. Of course, I hold more than that personally because I work in crypto and I understand it. But I think we'll see increasingly a lot more of the mainstream financial services making allocations, which of course in turn is great for the industry and great for prices.
Perfect. I think that's been fantastic. And you've definitely got an insight into DAXI. And I just want to say thank you ever so much once again for your time and having a chat with me. And hopefully we can have a chat again in the future.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks so much for having me, Oliver.
Cheers, Katharine.
Bye.
So there we have it. That was Katharine of DAXI. Very interesting chat and her thoughts on crypto and the services they offer. If you like the episode, throw me a like, comment down below what you thought of the episode as well. Did we say anything about any cryptos that sparked your interest? Remember, always, always, always do your research and due diligence. Don't forget, subscribe, notification bell icon. I've got many more experts in the pipeline just waiting to come onto this channel. And as always, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.